Hi, Max. Paul here from Dirt Hub. It's good to speak to you. Obviously, busy time for you, but the big focus, it's got to be the big focus, because obviously coming home to the UK, British Supercross Grand Prix. Obviously, we had the pilot season, which went down a storm in Cardiff. Obviously, you got the crowd riled up with a win.
Yeah.
But now 6 rounds, Villa Park opening round. How pumped are you for that?
I'm so excited. I think definitely being in Birmingham, it's not far from me. I've got a lot of friends and family from Oxford, and being close by for me, Birmingham's going to be a lot of fun. I really do think, and being in Aston Villa Stadium, I definitely think that it's going to bring in a lot of people, and definitely something that part of the UK needs, and to bring in the World Supercross like that is going to be it's going to be pretty cool. So I'm excited. The bike's working well. We're flat out over here in the States at the moment. Getting everything going for this championship and dialed, and trying to really keep pushing, and it's only helping us for the World Supercross coming up, because the bike's getting fine tuned. I've got a month now where I'm wide open testing. So it's fantastic. I'm really looking forward to it. And I was just saying to my mum the other day, she flew over here to watch me train for a few days and come to a couple of races, and I'm like, it's crazy how it works out that this World Supercross has formed. When I first came to America, I didn't, I thought I was leaving the World Championship or going to all these countries kind of behind, but now, I'm getting to go race back at home, getting to go race in Germany, in France, places that I've got fans all over the place, but they don't necessarily get to see me ride Supercross unless they fly all the way to America. So it's awesome that now we're going to be able to show that to the rest of the world, and people from all over the place. So I'm really excited about it.
So it seems like the sport has sort of morphed into a great space for you, really, because obviously you've taken a back step from outdoor motocross to a certain extent. Yeah. And obviously, previous interviews I heard you say that, obviously you trained as a youngster in Supercross. So for you to sort of make the steps you've taken, and for World Supercross to come about at the same time, it couldn't have really fitted any better, could it?
No, exactly. It's come around at a perfect time, because my wife and I, we moved to America in COVID, and for those 2 years never saw anyone, and now it's allowed me to race the Supercross in the US, but the World Supercross allowed me to go and travel the world and see all the people that I want to see anyway, and go and race in front of them, so I can I don't know, do what I love doing around people that I like, and people that I've known for years and years and years, being in the GPs. So no, it's come at a perfect time, and at this point in my career, you can never say never with anything, but I'm perfectly fine not racing outdoors anymore. I don't want to race outdoors. I like racing Supercross. I like the World Supercross. I like the way that it's all run, and I raced the Australian Supercross even at the end of last year, and that was great fun, and run by a lot of the same people, and to be honest, in my career now, the amount of effort that you put in, you realize that in outdoors, the manufacturers and the fans, they do appreciate the work that you put in, but you don't get paid for it. It's not. I know it kind of comes down to this. I'm a bit older now, but it's like the outdoors was like the amount of effort that goes into that, and you're getting a tiny bit back. It's like, at least Supercross is the lights are on you, you're the center of the show, and you win the races, you get paid. It's good. And that's what it's all about. And that's what it should be. When you go and race in Villa Park, the football guys, when they're in there, they're the stars of the show. They're getting paid. And it's now cool that we're showing up. We're not in the middle of nowhere we're not in the middle of nowhere in England, or we're not in the middle of nowhere in Europe, riding in a field, doing laps where no one really shows up, or if they do, they're only the die-hard motocross fans. Now we can bring in people from different avenues, and you see it over here. You get it's more of a Saturday night is let's go and watch Supercross. It's viewed more as like a baseball or football Supercross. You get celebrities show up to come and watch because it's fun for the family, and that's what is going to be really cool about this, and something that I think is going to bring a lot of people in. It's definitely definitely something that I'm proud to be a part of, and happy with how it's all worked out.
That's cool. Sorry, I'm still plug it. Just realised my computer on charge. But yeah, no, that's cool. Cool. I could just imagine it just going then, the battery going. But yeah, no, that's cool. Are you a bit of a football fan? Because obviously Villa Park's a famous venue as well. Does that hold any sway with you, or?
No, I need to be more. No, I literally. But I was useless at football. I still am useless at football. I tried football when I was younger. Had no coordination with that. Got on a bike, loved it, and that was kind of the end of it for me. In all honesty, but to be honest, I should do a bit more research on that, and have watch a few games in that arena, in that arena, and see in that stadium, and see what it's like. Because I don't know. Now I'm a little older. I have so much respect for other sports. Like, we're all in our own world. I've never been to Formula One. I've never been to a football match properly. I've never been to these things because you're just so focused on riding and training. Whereas, yeah, I would like to I don't know, just go into these stadiums. It kind of makes you want to go and watch a football game. You want to know these people a bit more, and know like what they're all about, and how it works. And even after to be honest, actually after Birmingham, the weekend after is Silverstone Formula One, and it's the first time my wife sorted it all out, and we're going to go and watch. Her dad's part of the BRDC there, so it's worked out that I'm able to I don't know, do something a little different. Go and watch that, and same with the football. I want to I don't know a little bit more about it, and we're all stuck in our own little bubble, in our own little world, and it's kind of, you go through life just day by day, training, riding, eating, sleeping, training, riding. You race, and you don't really take it all in until you're a little older, and it's like, okay, man, that was actually really cool. To come in that stadium is something special. So yeah. No,
that's cool. And obviously, Cardiff was a great crowd. Obviously, real supportive of the British riders. That was amazing.
Yeah.
Villa Park, I'm sure is going to be the same. Summer, outdoors. So a different vibe to Cardiff indoors. But I think, we get a sunny day. It's going to be amazing. The crowd, obviously.
So we don't get rain.
To be fair, from your angle, I'd probably say that probably wouldn't be a bad thing. You're a good mud rider, so a shower.
I'd be fine.
When everybody's undercover and then they come in, you'll be all right there. No one gets wet. The track's just wet.
I'll be fine until the team and all that have to clean the bike up after. It's like they're not used to it. Supercross is nice and clean normally. You just give it a little wipe down and you're good. You
have to show them what to do, Max. Like you have to get your cleaner out and get on it.
Well, I'm sure there's going to be a lot of English people there that have had enough practice at that, so I'm sure it won't be a problem.
After the weekend,
a lot of British people.
Yeah, no, for sure. And obviously, you were second in the world in the pilot series. Obviously, you want to win. Obviously, the starting point is the UK. I was going to ask you, how much of a lift do you find the fans a pressure or a lift? Like, do you think you perform better because there's pressure on you, or do you perform better in front of the home fans? Obviously, we've seen in Motocross the Nation, things like that. Do you perform better because they give you a boost? What
good question that is, because it depends on the dynamic of where you're at in the season. The first round, such as Cardiff last year, was my first race on the 250, and it almost was, totally honest, it almost was a lot. There was a lot going on. There's a lot, obviously, with the media. There's a lot going on with family, friends, everyone there. First race on the new team, new bike. You kind of want to perform for them. And I felt like it was, I'm used to the crowd. That always does feel good. But I definitely felt like the first round was a little more pressure. It added a little more pressure when sometimes at the first round you already have enough pressure. You kind of want to take it back a step. And then, but then the other dynamic of that, like at the Motocross of Nations, is at the end of the season when you've already had so much solidness or whatever you want to call it throughout the season. You've had some podiums. You've had your bases there. Then that race rises you up, and it's like, yeah, come on, let's go again. So it completely depends on the dynamic of the situation. I do think this year going into Cardiff, or last year going into Cardiff was new. It was Supercross. It was like, oh, I wanted to do well in front of everyone, and it's like I did half a job, but when I left, I was so much more cleaner, if that makes sense. Like when I went to Melbourne, I was cleaner with my execution of what I was going to do. For round two, I executed a little better. So now going into Birmingham, I know what that means and what that takes. Plus, I've had longer with my team. I'm happy with my group of people. I've performed well in the States and got podiums, and I've still got 4 rounds to go, and I want to win one of these things in America. And I think then coming into Birmingham, it's going to be like, man, I want to stamp my authority and just continue on the role that I've been kind of having here in the States, and building through this World Supercross so that I can, I want to win this thing, and that's the goal.
Cool. And obviously the format's different. World Supercross is different. And obviously, I don't know whether they're going to mix it up a little bit, but obviously, if we base it on Cardiff, shorter races, more gate drops. Do you like that format? Do you like that, the intensity of the short races? It seemed intense, watching it seemed intense, but it was good to watch because we saw you more. We saw the franticness more. It was just a lot more.
As a rider, it's harder. Those 6.6.10s, because a lot of guys can push for 6 minutes. When you've got 15, they get tired. The midway, they get arm pumped. It's more of the start isn't so important. But that being said, you've got to execute all areas of your game, and that's where in Cardiff I didn't feel like I executed every start, every sprint. So it's slightly different. It's just a different training. I really liked the Australian Championship, and I even did talk to Adam Bailey about this, because in Australia what they did was they did like 1 or 2 rounds normal, where you just had one 15-minute moto at the end of that was the main event. They had 1 round where it was the Triple Crown, like 6.6.10 or something like that, and then 1 round where there was just 2 mains, like an outdoor race. And I thought, wow, it's kind of different, but it gives a different dynamic to each weekend. And actually, it's good. It's good for the fans. It's definitely keeps riders on their toes, because here in the States, it's majority of them, pretty much every race is just a normal 15, unless you have a Triple Crown, which is 3 10s, but you have more of a break, and they're very intense as well. But I've only got 1 of those this season, and I've already done it. So it's just different. It definitely makes it tighter. You could have someone win a race that not necessarily would win if it was a longer motor, if you know what I mean. And you've got to learn to take the 2nd, 3rd, 4th when it's there, instead of crashing and then losing a load of positions, because in 6 minutes you're not going to be able to make that up. So it's a playoff. It's tough. And the starts have got to be solid. You've got to be solid with your starts, and you've got to be able to execute and things like that. So it's Yeah, it's different. It's definitely definitely interesting. It makes for the racing to be really tight. And yeah, the way the tracks were as well in the first couple of rounds last year, everyone was kind of doing similar things. So it was tight. That's the difference from there to, let's say, here in the States, where the top 5 make a gap, is because the whoops are so big. Not many guys can get through them, or the rhythm section, there's a big section that like the top guys can get through, whereas it's all about the turns really, and being able to push through the rhythms and being intense for however long you're out there for, and just executing your starts each time out.
No, it's cool. And the World Supercross, on that element, obviously 6 different countries, going to be completely different stadiums, and I'm sure completely different dirt. Do you know what I mean? That's going to throw a different element in. Obviously, you've got a lot of experience from racing all around the world. Do you think that's going to stand you in good stead, or is it just going to be because it's obviously indoors? It depends what dirt they bring in. You know, is there anything that from the GP scene that you're going to be able to bring to this?
I think so. I think the biggest thing is planning the travel. Weirdly, I'm not sure how good the Americans are going to be at that. You've got to plan your travel, plan your food, plan everything down to when you're sleeping on the flights, when you're not. Like that all comes back to my GP days, and you gain a couple of % here and there just from that. So yeah, I think that'll be something that, and being able to race jet lagged is weird, but you've got to be able to do it. Everyone's going to be jet lagged when we go to Australia. You can't always get into the time zone, so you have to learn to nap anywhere, try and get as much sleep as you can, and still be focused when you're on the gate. So that's a weird dynamic to it, but most fans and people behind the scenes, most fans and people that are watching on TV or watching in the stadium wouldn't fully be aware of our schedule coming into it. So it'll be like, hold on, you guys have only been here for 36 hours, 36 hours. We're like, it's 4 o'clock in the morning right now. We're like completely thrown off. So yeah, that's going to come in handy for me, because I've done it for years. Going to Indonesia, I know what to expect when we go to Indonesia. I know what the food's like. I know I just eat my rice and my plain stuff. You know, I've been around the block a few times and got food poisoning in all these different countries. So it's one of those where, yeah, you can either go to those races on holiday and, I want to try this, and then get sick, or you can go to the races for work and just be like, right, I'm cracking on. I'm eating my basic plain food, and it's maybe not that nice, but you're going to be able to perform well on the weekend. So it's it's definitely going to bring a different dynamic to it. I'm excited. I'm excited to do that, and definitely excited to just see the different fans. You know, Indonesia is mental with the fans over there. Like they were for the GP back in the day, and it's they treat you like a hero. Like it's unreal to see that kind of thing, and yeah, it's going to be awesome. I'm definitely excited to be a part of it.
Cool. And obviously on the food thing, it was interesting. The American riders speaking at Cardiff after the press release, and a lot of British food came up, which I think our British food is pretty broad on that, but it was just interesting. So, you know, you can imagine some of these guys taking a trip to the Curry Mile and stuff like that. So obviously, you know, you drill on that one being British.
Yeah, exactly. Well, I mean, it's at the end of the day, I've learned my lesson in. I raced in Thailand before, and I raced and they all turned around and went, "Oh, there's going to be chicken and rice for all the riders at the track." We get to the track for race day, they bring out the chicken and rice. It's that bloody spicy, no one could eat any of it. So it's like, yeah, this isn't going to be. Although they said it was chicken and rice, it isn't plain chicken and plain rice. You know what I mean? So you can always take your Uncle Ben's 2-minute rice with you around the world. That's all I say. And yeah, it's an experience, and definitely something you got to be switched on all the time to make up those percentages. Like I said, it's not just about the race. That's the one easy thing about being in America, racing the American Championship, is you fly from one coast to the other, and there's still a Whole Foods, there's still a Target, there's still the same shops, there's still the same restaurants. Whereas you definitely don't get that when you're flying through the airports in Jakarta, and you're like, oh, what shall I eat? What is this? What is this? McDonald's starts to look like the best option. And it's crazy because as an athlete, you're like, no way. But everyone remembers Usain Bolt a few years ago, when they were in Brazil or wherever it was, and he's eating chicken nuggets from Mackie D's because literally you don't trust any of the other food. And as an athlete, it's yeah. I mean, hopefully we don't have to go that far to Mackie D's, but you know what I mean.
Yeah, no, for sure. So ticket-wise, obviously tickets are on sale now for Villa Park. Obviously, you've got your family's tickets sorted?
Yeah, my mum and my nan were here, and they already bought the tickets the day they came out. They're like, right, I've already got they bought the VIP experience, the walk around the pits, all that stuff. I was like, to be honest, Mum, I could probably ask the team if I could get you. No, they'll be bought and we're all sorted. So I'm like, all right. No, it's definitely a busy event, and I'm happy that everyone wants to come and be a part of it, and that VIP experience was really, really great for those that did it last year in Cardiff. They loved it. So yeah, my mum and that are already signed up and ready to go. So I don't know about my dad. He'll just wait till the last minute until I get him something, and my mates will probably be the same. But yeah, my mum and my nan, they're already signed up and ready to go. So yeah, gonna be fun.
Nice. Spot on. And your dad obviously vets motocross at the Nations. Is he riding Foxhills again, is he?
I think he wants to. I don't know if he wants to do Foxhills because there's too many jumps. He wants to do Farley. I don't think I want him to do Foxhills either, because you've got to be a bit too fast for that one. I'm like, just go and do Farley. Farley's lovely. But yeah, I know he's going back to England in a little bit just to get some training in and stuff for that. He loves it, so yeah, he will be there.
No, that's cool. And yeah, just one more thing. Obviously, when you're coming over to the UK, are you staying over for a little bit? You know, have you got, because you used to have a training track over in the UK, didn't you? A Supercross training track. Is that going to be a bit of a blast from the past to take a visit there to sort of?
We were thinking about it, but honestly, just because the way the bikes will get shipped in, the bikes get shipped in and then shipped out. So I'm not going to have a bike to train on in the week, but I'm going to fly in probably late-ish. I'm going to train here right up until probably Wednesday, Thursday, fly in late, and then I'm going to stay for a week after. So I'm going to stay for a week after. I'm going to go to Silverstone the next weekend. It's my one of my best mates' weddings the weekend after, and it's like I've got family to see and people to, you know, I don't get to come back home very often. We're going to bring our little one. My wife and I are going to come over and bring the little one, and he's going to see everyone. So it's quite good that we've got 3 weeks until France, so that I can spend a week kind of seeing everyone, and then be back here on the east coast of the States and train for a couple of weeks, then fly in and bang out what I need to do in France and get the job done. That's the game plan.
Yeah, it's cool. And obviously it's been from a Supercross angle, obviously we've had the arena cross in the UK, which was really successful this year, which is great. I'm involved in running Airborne Gunner Supercross, which sadly we're not running this year, but we have certainly seen that there is the next generation of British riders taking an interest more so in Supercross. I think it's become more attainable. Obviously, World Supercross coming here, I think it's just, I think people can see a path a little bit more now.
Well, I think exactly, and this leads on to something that I really want to do, and I haven't figured this out yet. And I guess now's the right time to bring this out. Is I've been thinking about this for a while, and I really want to try to give back to the kids of the UK, or just all over Europe, really, that want to be a part of Supercross. So if there's a way that I can figure it out with Adam for Birmingham, I want to somehow, I mean, maybe I need to do something on social media, somehow choose all the kids maybe 16 and under, from 10 to 16, can send in their videos to me or whatever of why they think. I want to be able to bring them on the experience the whole day, so that they can see what it's like to be a pro and ask me questions that they wouldn't normally be able to ask. You know, when I was 10, 11, 12 years old, and I dreamed of becoming a Supercross star and doing what I'm doing right now, living the dream, I would have given anything to ask the top pro at the time, my feelings on something, or is this normal? Is that normal? What do you do with this? Or just even be a part of it. And I don't know. I've been thinking about it for a while. I want to try and make that a thing. And even in the States, I want to try and help the UK sport and get Supercross viewed as a professional sport. That's not just, because let's face it, the UK motocross scene is just to the public. It's viewed as if everyone nicks everything, and it's not a nice sport. And I don't know why, because in the States it's viewed as you're professional, you're athletes, and that's what I want to try to help. I mean, I won the Motocross Nations, went 1-1. No one cared in England. Literally, like, the fans cared, but no one else cared. It's not like I was on ITV doing things. It's not like I was, and that was the biggest race in the world at the time. That's like winning the Olympics. And it's like, afterwards I thought, why do the Italians, why are they so passionate about Caroli? Why are the Dutch so passionate about Jeffrey? They view the sport in a positive light, and I want to try to bring that to the UK side of things. And with Supercross, I think that's the way to do it, because Supercross is such a great sport, and you can see what these athletes are all about, and the work and the dedication that it takes. So I would love to bring a British kid along for the day with me, along for the ride. It's busy for me. I've got a lot going on, but I'd like to take him on track walk. And if he wants to ask me questions about stuff, it's like, just see how I work, see when I get ready, see, what it's, even if you have a bad race, come in and I can say, yeah, this is part of the sport, mate. It's shit right now, but we got to refocus and go again. And it's like, all right, hopefully I can give back to someone that they can go on to become, be under those lights of World Supercross. That is the goal. And this World Supercross Championship gives kids something to shoot for. And like you said, after watching the arena cross in the UK, I thought it was great. I watched pretty much all of them, and I think it's something that the next generation need.
Yeah, no, for sure. And to be fair, Adam did a great, because all of our Airborne Gunner winners from the Supercross we did last year, they're all invited along from Adam, so they got VIP with their parents and that. So that was really cool. So, but yeah, if you need any help with doing that, to find a kid that, or a couple of kids or something, obviously that's what we're there for. Obviously, yeah. Dirt is a grassroots British website. We focus on the British rider. So, that's our core audience is British riders. So
it's literally been going in my mind for the last few weeks, but I've been so flat out. I don't really know how to go about it. So I'm gonna have to put something out there, and yeah, that would definitely be. I need to make sure Adam's all right with it, and I get a pass to get him to go around, because I don't know how that's going to work. But yeah, I think it would be something cool to. I don't know. I want to give back to the sport. I feel like that's the position that I'm in. I'm very fortunate and grateful to be in this position, and being successful is something that I want to be able to share with. I don't want to be the last or the only British Supercross rider and guy that's come through really in the last recent years. I want to be able to, give to the next generation that, okay, they can make this happen. I came from the UK, and so that is something I want to try and work on.
Yeah, that's cool. And who knows, in the next sort of 5-6 years, obviously we had some wild cards this year. The next generation can come through from something like what you're saying. So that'd be cool.
Yeah, exactly. No, I think it's good. I just want to, I keep going back to it. I just want to change the view of British motocross and supercross. I mean, hopefully I can do it with supercross. I want the general, because in America you go to any gas station, any fuel station, and there's pictures of Ken Rocks and there's pictures of Monster Energy, there's this and that and the other. Whereas in the UK, anyone thinks that you've got a motocross bike, they probably think you nicked it from some bloke down with a field. It's like, I just don't understand how it's viewed so, in my opinion, viewed so poorly from the general public compared to places like this, or Holland, or France, or Belgium, where they're viewed as top athletes. So yeah, I don't know, maybe I'm a little harsh there, but that's what I want to try to help with being British.
No pressure on anything, Max, but I think bringing home a world title would probably help quite a bit.
Yeah, no, I know, that's the plan, and definitely that's on the agenda. I'm working towards that. Obviously anything can happen, but I'm in a great position with a great team, and I've had good success over here at the moment. So I've just got to make sure I'm sharp and ready to go when it comes to race time. So that'll be something very special. I dreamed of being a world champion for years, and then leaving the world championship, the GPs, I kind of thought, oh man, and then this has come up, and it's like, wow, this is what I was meant to do my whole life. Like, why wasn't this here years ago? Because I'd have been doing this for forever, and it's fantastic that it's come up. And Jamie Dobbs, the last world champion, and he liked to remind me of that very often when I was around him, and I know that's outdoors, but man, I want to be the next British world champion, and whether that's Supercross or motocross, I'm on track to do that now with this World Supercross Championship.
Superb. Well, we look forward to watching you in Aston Villa. That's going to be pretty amazing. I know a lot of people are excited for it. Obviously, to see you duking it out for a world title is going to be amazing. Obviously, we'll be able to watch it, throughout the 6 rounds. So we wish you the best of luck. Thank you very much for your time today. Best of luck in America as well. And we will catch you in Birmingham in July.
No, thank you, and we'll be in touch if I we'll figure something out and get someone along for the ride for Birmingham. Let's just give it a trial run. Let's let one kid that we think's deserving. I know there's probably hundreds and thousands of them back at home, but one that wants to be a part of it, and then maybe it can be a regular thing. Maybe I can get a few more, and I want to give back. I want to help the kids, and it's something that I just wish when I was a kid I had the opportunity to do that. So I would have given anything to do it. So that's, I don't know, just an idea that I had.
Yeah, no, I like it. No, let's make it happen.
All right. Thank you very much, mate.
Thank you very much.